This is Senior Algebra, Section 7.5, Simplifying Complex Fractions. So today we're looking at two different methods to simplify complex fractions. So take a look at A here. Method 1, we're going to write the numerator and denominator as a single fraction. So that means what we're going to do is we're going to put everything on the top together. So I'm going to separate them. On the top, I have 2/3 plus 5/9. I'm going to make it a common denominator. The common denominator is 9 here. So I'm going to multiply the first fraction by 3/3. That gives me 6/9 plus 5/9, which is 11/9. On the bottom part, the denominator, I'm going to add 1/4 plus 1/12. Again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put them together, which means common denominator, which means I'm going to multiply the 1/4 by 3/3. I get 3/12 plus 1/12. Put those together, I get 4/12. So if I come back to this now, on the top I have 11/9 divided by 4/12. Well, I could rewrite this a little bit differently, and that may help us here. 11/9 divided by 4/12. So how do I divide with fractions? I multiply by the reciprocal. So it's going to be 11/9 times 12/4. Now at this point, we just simplify here. Now if I look what are on the top and bottom here, I have a 12 on the top. I have a 4 on the bottom. Well, if I take a 4 out of both of those, I have a 3 and a 1. Then I look, I have a 9 and a 3. 9 on the bottom, 3 on the top, so I can take a 3 out of each of those. I'm left with a 1 and a 3 there. So when I multiply across now, I'm going to get 11/3. That's going to be my final answer there. So in B, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to simplify the top by putting them together, simplify the bottom, and then perform the operation here. So if I have 3/x plus 2 over, or minus 4/1, I'm going to change it to plus a negative on the top there. But now I need the bottoms to be the same. So I'm going to multiply the second equation, or the second expression, by x plus 2 on the top and bottom here. So I have 3/x plus 2 plus negative 4/x plus 2. When I distribute, I get negative 4x minus 8 all over x plus 2. And finally the top, when I put those two together, because now the bottoms are the same, I have x plus 2, negative 4x minus 5. I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom now. I have 2/x plus 2 plus 1. So the 1, I'm going to make it do a fraction with a 1/1. Common denominator is going to be x plus 2, so I'm going to multiply the second fraction by x plus 2 over x plus 2. One times x is just x. 1 times 2 is just 2. So I have 2/x plus 2 plus x plus 2 over x plus 2. When I put those together, 2 and 2 is 4, so I have x plus 4 over x plus 2. So now I have my top, I have my bottom here. So negative 4x minus 5 over x plus 2 divided by x plus 4 over x plus 2. Remember, dividing is multiplying by the reciprocal, so I'm going to multiply. I'm going to take the reciprocal of that second bottom, the denominator here. That's going to be x plus 2 over x plus 4. If we look at this now, the x plus 2 is the same, so I can cancel those out. I'm going to be left with negative 4x minus 5 all over x plus 4. At this point, I'm done. There's no x's that I can cancel out, no constants I can cancel out. So I circle it and I'm done. So in example 2 now, my top is a little bit more complicated. I have a y and I have a y plus 2. Going to do it the exact same way. I'm going to combine the tops together. So the common denominator of y and y plus 2 is them together here. So I'm going to multiply the second one by y over y. First one by y plus 2 over y plus 2. So on the top I have y plus 2, on the bottom y times y plus 2 plus 2y over y plus, or y times y plus 2. When I combine the tops now, 2y and y is a 3y over 2. Or 3y plus 2, all over y times y plus 2. I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom. Get a common denominator. That minus, again, I'm going to change into plus and negative here, and I'm going to move the negative to the top. So the second fraction I multiplied by y over y. First fraction, y plus 2 over y plus 2. And now the bottoms are the same. When I distribute, I get 4y plus 8 all over y plus 2 plus negative 3y over y plus 2. Simplify the top. 4y minus 3y is just y, so I have y plus 8 over y plus 2. Now it's the top divided by the bottom here. So 3y plus 2 over y plus 2, all over y plus 8, y, and then y plus 2. Now again, I'm showing you every step here. Do you need to necessarily write it again? Maybe not. So we have 3y plus 2, and then y plus 2, multiplied by the reciprocal. Now I look and I see what's going to cancel out. Well, on the top and on the bottom, I have a y plus 2 and a y plus 2. I also have a singular y and a y, so I can cancel those out. I'm going to be left with 3y plus 2 all over y plus 8. So that's one way. Put the tops together, put the bottoms together, and then simplify from there. Another way, it's a little bit more complicated, but a little bit shorter here. I'm going to find the least common denominator of all the fractions here. So if I look 3, 9, 4, and 12 here. So I'm looking for the common denominator between 3 and 9 and 4 and 12. Well, if I look between 3 and 9, the common denominator is 9 here. And with 4 and 12, the common denominator is 12. So I'm really looking for the common denominator between 9 and 12. Well, what's 9 made out of? 9 is made out of 3 and 3. 12 is made up of 4 and 3. So they have to be the same. Well, what do we know then? I'm going to have to multiply a 3 to the 12 and a 4 to the 9. So it looks like my common denominator is going to be 36. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by 36. And because it's 36 over 36, that's really just 1. Okay, I'm not changing anything. I'm just rewriting it a little bit differently. So if I multiply the top and bottom by 36, Now, how do we do 36 times 2/3? Okay. When I'm doing this, there's kind of two ways to do it. I could do 36 over 1 times 2 over 3 and multiply it straight across. That would work. And get 72 over 3, which is, yeah, that's 24. But we could simplify it beforehand. So let me show you. If I have 2 over 3 here, if I look at the 36 and the 3, I could simplify that right away. What goes into 36 and 3? 3 does. So I'm left with 12 times 2, which is 24, all over 1. So I think I get 24 there. If I do 36 times 5 nines, I'm going to do 36 divided by 9 first, and that's 4. 4 times 5 is 20. On the bottom, 36 over 4 is 9. 9 times 1 is 9. And 36 over 12 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. So I get 44 over 12. If I take a 4 out of both the top and bottom, I'm going to get 11 over 3. Now, if I look back here, 11 over 3, yeah, that's the same answer I got for A here. So, different way to do it. You get the same answer either way. If I look at B here, now I'm going to do B the same way. I look at my common denominator. It's over 1, so I have x plus 2 and 1, x plus 2 and 1. So it looks like the common denominator is going to be x plus 2. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by x plus 2. Now, when I multiply it to the first one, the x plus 2's are going to cancel out. Okay, so if I look at this, again, I'm just writing this first one out for you. The x plus 2's are going to cancel out. And I'm going to be left with 3. So it looks like I have 3. And then it's negative 4 times x plus 2. On the bottom, the x plus 2's are going to cancel out. I'm going to be left with 2 plus 1 times x plus 2. I distribute minus 4x minus 8, 2 plus x plus 2. When I simplify, I get negative 4x minus 5 all over x plus 4. So again, if we look back, negative 4x minus 5 over x plus 4. Yep. We get the same answer here. Negative 4x minus 5 over x plus 4. Again, different way to do it, same result. And then finally, now in this one I have a y and a y plus 2 and a y plus 2. So, common denominator is going to be those two things multiplied together, y and y plus 2. So if I multiply the top by y and y plus 2, and the bottom by y and y plus 2. So now, when I look at the first one, I'm going to get 1 times y plus 2 plus 2 times y. On the bottom, the y's are going to cancel out, so I'm going to have 4 times y plus 2 minus 3 times y. When we simplify, I distribute, I simplify the top, simplify the bottom. I get 3y plus 2 all over. So we should get not 5y on the bottom. It should just be y here. It should just be y plus 8. That's my mistake there. Notice, if we look at the last example on the bottom, yeah, we have 3y plus 2 over y plus 8 there.